car's been all over into Canada. That guy drove it now.
All right, everybody, we're here in Jackson, Mississippi. We are at the Vault Car Show. This appears to be one of the biggest car shows in the area. We have a good showing today. Let's go see what we can get into. All right, we with our first victim here. Let's take a see what we can get into. Can you tell me about your car and what we're looking at?
Well, it's a 1952 Pontiac station wagon. They called them Tin Woodies back in the day because they had taken the wood off, and that was a vinyl stick-on for the wood look on the side, and that's what happened to it after the sun burned it off. So we've redone everything on the car except the paint, and the suspension's all. It's a Mustang 2 in the front. It's a 9-inch Ford with a triangular rear end on it.
What are we running for engine power?
It's LS1 out of a 2001 Camaro.
Transmission?
4L60E.
4L60?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. And what'd you do to the interior of this car?
M&M Interiors in Holly Pond, Alabama did the interior. It's completely redone.
It looks nice inside there. What we got going on the dash as far as gauges and such?
Well, we had we smoothed this side where the speedometer and everything was, and Classic Industries started making that single big, called it the big old gauge, and it's got all four of your gauges and the tachometer and a speedometer, and that was originally the Pontiac speaker grill.
Okay.
And so that's why it looks like it does now.
And this is what you're talking about right here. It used to be the Tin Woody.
Yeah, it used to be called, I think it was Mylar. I can't remember the name of the, it's got a name that they used to stick on here just like vinyl that looked like wood. And but the sun burnt this, and that's why it looks like it does now.
How long have you had the car?
7 years now.
7 years?
I bought it out of a boy bought it in Indianapolis, Indiana. He was going to build it, and he got sidetracked, but he dragged it out of Arizona. It was a desert car, so that's the reason the rust isn't any worse than it is.
Well, do you drive it very much, or you
we
pretty much to shows only, or?
Pretty much to shows only. I don't use it very often for anything else. I've got about 15,000 miles on it now. I've been on a couple of hot rod power tours.
You did hear that they're running power tour. They are going to run power tour this year.
Yeah, it's a little far north to go and get through. We may go, we may not. Don't know yet. I just got it. It's been down 2 or 3 years with a few problems, and I kind of took a sabbatical. So I've just now put it back on the road 2 weeks ago. So it's a second maiden voyage.
Well, you got a beautiful car. I appreciate you talking with me.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Keep enjoying it.
Will do.
That car's been all over into Canada. That guy drove it now.
272, 292.
272.
My name's Robin Church, and this car been restored completely by Robert Howard and Howard Green in Crystal Springs. I sold Robert Howard this car in 1983, and he proceeded to take it apart. We had a chemical stripping business at the time, Ready Strip Jackson. We'd strip this body shell, frame, and all the running gear and parts, and they redid this car, and it's absolutely what he did was way beyond my capacity to do. So, and I was able to buy it back. Of course, it's because of his death, and his widow called me because he'd always promised he'd sell it back to me.
Right.
So I bought it back in 2000. 10, and just drive it occasionally. He's done a beautiful job restoring the car. It runs like a top.
What engine are we running in this car?
It's originally a 312 car, 4-barrel with like 245 horsepower, and but it's got a 292 right now with a 4-barrel, so it's about 225. It's it's not a hot rod. It's just a nice car, factory air car. So I'm just blessed to be able to purchase it back. Give Robert Howard and Crystal Springs another shout out for doing such a wonderful job. And of course Howard Green, he was the painter.
And how long has it been restored now?
Since probably about 87 or 88 when he finished it.
This thing's still beautiful.
And it's got about 80,000 miles that he clocked. He's been all over the country in it. Went to every Crown Victoria show, California to New York.
Well, I was talking to your friend, and he said it had actually been to Canada too.
It has. Yeah, I mean, he drove this car. He built it to drive. When he was looking for a car to restore, he looked at mine. He had a 54 Mercury he was looking at, a glass top car, and he decided that he really liked this car better. So,
well, for a car that has a near, I would almost 30-year restoration on it.
Yeah, I bought this car in Pelahatchie, Mississippi, from like a junkyard / used car lot. I don't know, for $300 or something like that.
Wow.
And probably 1968.
Wow. But for, like I was going to say, for a 30-year-old restoration, you absolutely, it looks like it could have rolled out of a restoration shop yesterday. This car is immaculate.
He said he spent 200 hours. He was giving me a hard time about it because he spent 200 hours polishing stainless on this car.
My father-in-law spent about that much redoing the stainless on our 54 Ford.
I got you. Yeah, it's a lot of time in it. So.
Hand sanding and jeweler's rouge.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, sir, I appreciate you talking with me. This thing is absolutely beautiful.
Looking at my car, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I hope y'all have a great day today.
You too. Now, there's nobody around to talk to us about this one, but this thing is nice. All right, go ahead. What's your name?
My name is Mark Schmitz. I've got a 2016 Morgan three-wheeler.
2016?
Yes, sir. Morgan made three-wheelers from 1912 to about 1958, and they quit making the three-wheelers. They continue making their four-wheel cars. They still make plus 8s and plus 4s and things. And they brought the three-wheeler model back in 2012.
Wow.
Basically this model here. And it's, like I say, it's based on their old models, but it's got new running gear. It's got a new engine. It uses a S&S V-twin X-wedge engine.
How many horsepower is that putting out?
In the United States, they say it puts out about 115. When they sell it in Europe, they've got it detuned to about 85, 86 horsepower, I think.
So this thing's kind of sporty then.
Yeah, it's got, I think it weighs about 900 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's got aluminum bodywork over an ash wood chassis.
Okay.
And it's fun to drive, real noisy and not too comfortable for long trips. This one's got the heated seats, the knockoff spinners on the wheels, the quilted leather, the Brooklyn steering wheel, and the Heritage dashboard are some of the options this one has. But,
Learned something new today. 2016, and it looks like a, what year model would it look like?
If you look at a 1938 one, they look similar. You know, of course, they're not, but you know, they've been making a three-wheeler since 1912, so they hadn't changed the design a whole lot.
Okay, well, I appreciate you talking with me.
Yes, sir.
And y'all have a good day.
All right.
I think he's glad.
All right, what are we looking at?
Well, it's a 1970 Subaru 360. It's what they call a K car from Japan. 358cc two-stroke motor. Suicide doors. Car weighs about 940 pounds.
How many horsepower did that little motor put out?
It's about 24 to 26 horsepower, depending on how it feels that day.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. it's a small block.
How long have you had the car, and what have you had to do to it?
I bought the car from a guy that had it in his barn, actually. It did not run. It was solid. It didn't have any rust, but it wasn't restored. It was an original car. And it had a broken motor mount. And we took the motor out to get to the motor mount. And then while the motor was out, we decided to paint the engine bay. And one thing led to another, and then this is what happens a year later. So, but the motor mount did get fixed. So,
Okay.
that's good.
Got an absolutely beautiful car. Appreciate you talking with me. All right, what's your name? What we looking at?
My name's Michael Smith. This is a 41 Willis. We from Meridian. This is a 460 forward stroke to a 502.
Ooh, get her done.
An 871 blower on it with that the big hat that everybody likes on top.
Oh yeah.
But it's a outlaw body with a outlaw chassis built in Pennsylvania.
How many horsepower are we making?
It's pushing around 1,000 like it is.
Shoo!
Change the pulleys up, get a little bit more if you needed to.
Man,
It's about all you can do to drive it on the road the way it is
imagine.
and not get out from under you.
So how long have you had the car?
I bought it back last year.
What transmission has this thing got?
Got a C6.
That's what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't know that C6 is a way to go. Is he forgetting anything?
I don't think so.
Well, it's got a black cherry paint, House of Colors paint on it with those ghost flames
Yeah,
down the side.
I saw those ghost flames.
And if you stand at the right angle over there, looking back, you'll see a little heart design where the fender meets the door. It's actually a reflection. It's pretty neat to see. It was non-intended when it was painted to be that way.
Sometimes good accidents happen. You actually said you got two cars here. You got this.
Yeah, it's 55. That's actually my wife's. She drives it, but yeah.
I noticed it's got a little power under the hood too. What are we looking at?
383 small block with 871.
How long have you had this car?
About what? We bought it cruising the coast last year. Yeah.
Okay. What's been done to you besides the blower?
It's both of the cars is big tires. They got very sizable tires on the back of them.
And it will light them up, I imagine.
Oh yeah, I don't have a problem for sure.
All right, man.
Yeah,
Well,
both of us got air conditioner, and we just cruise and ride.
I hear you. Well, I appreciate you talking with me, and y'all have a great day.
All right, thank you.
he's got some cutoffs. He's got some cutoffs. Wants to run normal exhaust. I'm sure he wants a totally reasonable price.
Red tea bucket. Wide whites, biased plies. Hey man, what we working with today? What's your name?
Cody Hascock, a 1948 F1 with a 521 stroker big block Ford.
How long have you had it and how long did it take you to build it?
It didn't take us about 6, 7, maybe 8 months to build it. I've had it 2 years now.
And you said this thing will do burnouts, huh?
Burnout and donuts is what it's made for.
I hear you. So you must follow Rat Rod Bob on the on YouTube.
Bob channel?
Rat Rod Bob on YouTube.
I think I'm on his page.
Yes, sir. He builds some radical stuff. And you say this one over here?
That's my dad's.
That
Rob
belongs to your dad.
That's got a 5.9 Cummins in it.
Will it do burnouts as well, or is it?
Yeah, it'll do a little bit. I can't let him get too much credit, even though he's not here to talk about it. I can't let him get my credit. But yeah, they'll both cut up on the burnout pad for sure.
How long does this take you to build?
I think it took about the same amount of time that one did. We built this one first, then built that one.
All right, what's that Cummins out of?
Pickup truck. I'm not sure the year model. It's out of an old Dodge pickup truck. It's got the rear end out of the Dodge truck and everything. They fun to play in for sure.
All right, Boo. Well, I appreciate you talking with me. And,
yes, sir.
Y'all have a good day.
You do the same. Y'all have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
Generation of GTR can come here. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure it's a GTR technically. I think it might be a GTS thing, but it's basically a rear-wheel drive GTR. Either way.
My name's Mark Davis. It's a 1962 Buick LeSabre. It's factory powertrain, 401 nail head. We've added AC up the cooling system, lowered it, put 20-inch wheels on it. Little baby seat anchors in the back so I can take my little boy riding, take my wife riding out on a Sunday afternoon. Just a good solid cruiser. Just a fun car to ride around in. It does have AC. We added a full electric AC system. Don't run on the motor at all. I can flip a switch, less than a minute. I got cold air and fire it up and ride down the road.
Alrighty. Well, I appreciate you talking with me about your car, man.
Yes, sir.
It's a beautiful ride.
Thank you.
Subscribe to Real World Garage.